Alright everyone, welcome back to another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video with Fat Phil. And today, before I get into our video topic, I just want to say thank you to all my subscribers and supporters on the channel. I apologize I haven't had a video out in a little bit, just life's been a little bit crazy and getting down to kind of come up with a good video for you guys was just kind of had to take a back burner for a little bit. So with that said, I want to get into our topic today. And, I want to kind of start with saying that there's so much going on in this game right now, right? We've got Conquest, you've got this new Proving Grounds game mode coming out. We know Grand Inquisitor will be on the horizon. We've got new ships. There's all these changes coming. And so you need to kind of dig down and figure out where to focus in your roster. And so I wanted to kind of take the three big categories, right? Which I would call your ships, your characters, and then mods, and kind of say where I think you should be spending your time and how it'll impact you in the future. So with that said, let's get started. I want to look at ships first. So recently with ships, we've gotten the TIE Echelon here. We've gotten the TIE Interceptor through Conquest, the Star Fortress, and now the Outrider. So like 4 new ships, relatively recently, right? And my thought process here, guys, is that once these become farmable, like truly farmable, you should be putting all of your effort into farming them because we need those fleets, right? The TIE Interceptors through Conquest, so if you can get it to 7 stars through Conquest, like that's fantastic. Then you're doing your job. So where I'm going to be focusing my time now is getting some of these older ships that are on the nodes, get them finished, right? Get them out of the way, because eventually, like if your TIE Echelon becomes farmable and it goes to a hard node, you're going to want to farm it, right? Because it's a fantastic ship. So getting some of these other ones out of the way so they're in your inventory, you've got them at 7 star, your fleet is better, right? It's kind of one of these things that you want to finish off. Similarly with like the, making sure that you get all of the fleets unlocked, right? Like I don't have the Raddus unlocked yet, and that's something that I need to work for. So I'm farming up my Lando's Millennium Falcon here. And then eventually, I need to go around and get Ray's ship here. It's, unfortunately, it's going to take a while, but, we'll get it done, right? So anyway, with ships, we need them. You need that for GAC, right? But then you also got, like, the TIE Interceptor, right? Which the Razor Crest, being what it was, at first we didn't really know where its place would be. And now it's in the best fleet in the game. With TIE Interceptor, it does seem to have a home, but down the road, it could be needed for something else. So definitely take that one seriously. And then you've got like the Star Fortress, Dash Rendar's ship, even like TIE Echelon, where like the Star Fortress and the TIE Echelon were rounding out First Order fleets that really needed a tank, or the First Order and Resistance fleets that needed tanks, right? But with Dash's ship, do we just not know where it's going to happen yet? Like, do we not know what the end result of it will be? It's got this, smuggler tag, right? Like, could there be a fleet coming for smugglers since we've got, oh, look, there's not even look at that. It's got this smuggler tag, but there's no, I don't think there's a smuggler. Is there a smuggler in here? No, like, there's no, you look at, like, the scoundrels, like, you've got like cargo ship, right? But we don't, is a smuggler fleet going to be the next big thing? Is that going to kind of come into play here? So just keep that in mind, guys, that, there could be something coming down the pike that we're going to be needing, more tags for, or another ship. So just, I say these things as a warning that, like the Star Fortress, a lot of people think it's underwhelming. Who knows? There could be something coming that makes it very important. So take the ships seriously, and then get those older ships out of the way so that way you've got as much to work with as possible. So next is characters, and we've had a lot of characters come out recently. We've had a lot of different changes come in, and so like I myself, I'm still focusing on my Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. And the reason, obviously, he's a galactic legend, but also because Kylo's really good in territory battles, territory wars, Grand Arena, Conquest, right? Like, he's good in multiple game modes that I'm going to need him in. So, with that, with these characters, it's making sure that you're getting, when you're focusing on characters, that you're getting ones that will translate to multiple game modes, right? A character like Iden Versio, her team's fantastic even outside of, Grand Arena because of all of the unique buffs she gives, all those things. Like, she's a very good leader outside of GAC compared to somebody like Starkiller, who that team is amazing in Grand Arena, but outside of it, it's very lackluster because he doesn't give those bonuses. So that's just it. Something to kind of keep in the back of your heads here, guys, is that, as we're working towards, that end game, make sure that you're farming the right characters at the right time to benefit all game modes and not just one particular one. Because, you think about like the Bad Batch here, right? So if you go to your Bad Batch, they're fantastic in, territory battles, territory wars, right? But in territory battles, this other kind of why they're fantastic is that it's going to allow you to donate your 501st clones to platoons, which in some guilds is a huge struggle, right? Completing platoons in light side Geonosis territory battles is brutal. And if you have a team like the Bad Batch who they're not in platoons, right? Because they weren't released yet when Geonosis territory battles became a thing. And that's something that I think sometimes you've got to, use in the back of your head, that getting some of these newer teams like your Bad Batch, right, that aren't in platoons is so helpful to your guild because you can give up some of those older characters who are inside of platoons, right? So that's just something, with your characters, kind of keep that in mind, that you want to look for those multiple uses, right? Ones that give you a lot of benefit with very little downside, right? At this point in the game, like if there was a new territory battle to come into the picture, what does that look like? What factions, whatever, right? Like having your roster ready is going to be just so important. I can't stress it enough. So the last area, right, mods. And mods is one of these things that is so difficult to kind of, I almost want to say wrap your head around, because there's so many different facets to it. There's so many little intricacies with certain characters, right? But if I had to speak in general terms, there are kind of three mod sets that I think are more important than the rest. And those are going to be speed, health, and offense, right? So if you go to here, speed, health, offense, right? These are going to be the most important mods. The reason why speed, health, and offense are so important is because of the way relics work, in that like you either want to make a character faster, you want to make them hit harder, or like health just benefits almost everyone in the game, right? And the other side of this is that like, on my Hux there I have like a tenacity set, but if you go to like your GLs here, like I've got health mods and I've got speed mods on them, right? My General Skywalker, I've got offense and then I have a defense set. But like if I put a health set on him, it's not the end of the world, right? Piet, health, like you look through and you see that the health and offense in my roster, health and speed, is very common because most characters, that's what they need, right? There are very few, there are some characters like Kylo here where I've got some defense sets on them, right? That you'll eventually just get those like through the natural course of the game, but that by focusing on speed, offense, and health, you're going to be able to, mod your roster much better. Because a character like Han Solo down here, I have him modded for crit damage, right? If I put offense on him, it's not the end of the world. I probably won't even notice a difference if I put offense on him versus crit damage, right? But on a character like Commander Luke, if I modded him for crit damage rather than offense, I would notice an instant impact because of his unique ability that gives offense to the rest of his team with 3PO and Chewie's unique ability, right? So I would notice a huge difference using crit damage on him versus offense. So I think, in the past, crit damage used to be like better than offense because offense didn't really ramp like it does now. And with the game in the place it is with relics, it seems like offense is a much better stat, that it's much more versatile in that with these characters like Lord Vader, Jedi Master Kenobi not being able to be critically hit in certain situations, offense is just so much better because you're always hitting harder regardless of a crit or not. So that's, kind of focusing on sets. And then as far as like slicing goes, this is going to be to each their own. Me personally, you'll kind of see that I focus on slicing the mods that will make that character, the best. So like if we went down to my Darth Malik here, he's a really good example where I only have 260 mods on him, which is a defense and offense, right? Because those are two stats that will directly, that get big bumps at 6 dot and that are directly impacting Malik in a good way. Compared to if I do his protection mods, I modded mine for all protection, that I'm going to get a 0.5% of protection, right? I'll get, boost to the secondaries, which would be nice, but like from a priority perspective, I can do a lot better getting better, defense mods here or, offense boost or going to characters who are going to get a health boost, right? And so kind of focusing on the mods that will give me better primary stats, right, will get you farther in the game because, like, yes, like extra protection a little bit would help Malik, but you look at a character like if we go to my first order officer, where's he at? Down here, right? I could get a 10% more health on him by slicing this one up to 6 dot. So that 10% more health is way more important than like 2% protection on Malik or a 0.5% protection on the Malik. So again, guys, just kind of focusing on that bang for your buck, right? And where to focus your efforts right now. You really, with mods, should be speed, health, offense sets, and then slicing up the mods that are going to get you the primaries better on your characters that you're using all the time. So yeah, guys, kind of just recapping again, with ships, make sure that you're farming the right ships, make sure that you're getting some of those older ships out of the way so that when these new ones become farmable, you're not stuck with a, low star Emperor shuttle because you never bothered with it, right? Like those ships are going to become more and more important with us needing the 3 fleets in GAC now on defense, but also, who knows down the line if there's going to be a game mode where we need additional ships, that could happen. For characters, just focusing on those ones that are good for multiple game modes and ones that, maybe you don't need to platoon, right? Someone like Iden Versio is not in platoons in Geonosis territory battles. Someone like the Bad Batch, right? They're not in platoons in Geonosis territory battles. So they're hugely important where you can donate some of those better characters and use your Bad Batch. And then finally, guys, again, as I said with mods, focusing on your speed, health, offense sets, right? Making sure that we're getting as much of those as we can, and then focusing on the primaries that give us the best jump in primary stats. But yeah, guys, that's the end of this video. As always, please like and subscribe to help support the channel. Comment down below. I'd love to hear from you all, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.